I love it. From an early age, we are taught that we should be nice. But according to experts, there's a limit to how nice we should actually strive to be. So where do we draw the line? Joining me to weigh in on this is Kara Kinnear, author Amy Lyle, and founder of Atlanta Girls Club, Kathy Welch. Welcome.
Yeah.
Hope everybody had a good 4th. Yes.
Great 4th.
Yes. Good. We're so happy you're here.
A nice 4th.
A nice 4th, yes. All right, in a recent article titled How Selflessness Makes Us Selfish, the author states that when we're giving too much and not meeting our very own needs, we begin to seek them from external sources, resulting in behavior that looks selfish. If we want to be more kind and giving, we actually, let's think this through, we actually need to be less nice. Okay, think about that.
Right.
We actually need to be less nice, and here is why. Number one, if you're always giving, people will expect that of you. One expert says people often think others will like them better and see them as more valuable if they give as much as they can. Instead, it can actually make people appreciate you less. Those around us will value us as much as we value ourselves. So that's, what do you think about that? Look at Kathy. I know it's kind of a lot to process. I feel like we're like, wait, we got to do what to do?
I think there can be a fine line, right? So you can be nice, but you don't want people to take advantage of you, and that might be the sticking point for it. I also, though, see a lot of women, especially in my life, and I'm not guilty of this. I am guilty of this too, but we put a lot of expectations on how we want people to react to the things we do.
Yes.
And if those people don't react the way that we expect them to, then we're upset about it.
Exactly.
And I think we really have to be careful on that, because that doesn't do anything other than make you annoyed.
Right.
Right. You know?
Right.
So,
What do you think? You're like still thinking about it, like processing
Well, I mean, we are taught to be nice. Most of us are when we're growing up. But I think that if we're being nice because we're seeking our validation from those
Approval.
people to whom we're being nice,
Right.
That's really not the correct way to go about it. Like, I know what the correct way is.
No, but yeah,
But
it's-
I think that our validation comes from ourselves. You know, you're not being nice with a reward in mind, or a. But you're absolutely right. And I think too, the nicer you are to people, there is an expectation of continuing to be nice,
Yes.
eating up your time, eating up your own resources.
Exactly.
And that can be in friendships, business ships, any relationship.
in the workplace.
Yeah.
And that is number 2. You develop unrealistic expectations of others. Have you ever found yourself, Amy, taking it personally when someone doesn't go out of their way for you the way that you have always done for them?
No, I'm not that nice.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. No.
I need to work on that. I need to be nicer.
No, you're very nice. Come on.
I'm not that nice.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't know
I'm
if I
kind of
believe you,
like,
but
I don't know if I
I'm gonna
believe
I think
you.
it's from
I
being
don't believe her.
burned, and you know, I worked in sales for 20 years, and
Yeah.
you have like a kind of a tough exterior, and so, but the benefit of that is I am very resilient. I don't take things personally.
Yeah.
So it's the flip side, because I'm not like super nice.
Yeah.
I don't expect anyone else to be super nice.
Well, that's
And if
interesting.
they are
And that's-
nice, I'm like, oh wow.
Wow, right.
Yeah,
You're pleasantly
bonus.
surprised.
Yes.
That's a great way to put it. But and it has made you, I like that you said, a more resilient person. Number 3, people will come to you only when they need something. Experts say that when you're too nice to people, they'll only come to you when they think that you can help them out, and they're seeing you only as a tool to help you meet their goals. Have you ever been a victim of this? Raise your hand.
Yeah.
Amy,
sure.
that's
Yes.
why you've developed a tough exterior,
I
perhaps.
try to help everyone I can. That's
Yeah.
nice. I do try to help everyone, and I do ask, being in the business that I'm
Yeah.
in, I'm like, can you help me with this? Can you help me with
Yes.
this? So I try to reciprocate that.
Right. Kara?
I think you
Pass
need
it
to get
forward.
some new friends if you're feeling that way, because
Absolutely.
it should be a reciprocating relationship within all of our relationships.
And there needs to be boundaries and limitations on
Right.
what you can expend to help others.
Right.
you
And it
know?
goes like this, right?
It does.
Like, you're going to have a baby. Your friends are going to step up to the plate.
Yes,
Your
we
husband's going
are.
to step
Oh,
up to the
that's
plate.
nice. Yep. I
And
can't
then
wait.
when your friends have a baby, you step up to the plate.
Yes,
Right.
I have some excellent girlfriends that are
Yes.
super helpful, and I think everybody has to have that,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
But
Absolutely.
I will start to notice if I feel like my one girlfriend is picking up my son too much. I'm like, oh, I got to do something for her, because
that's
I don't want her
good.
to feel like I'm ever taking advantage of her.
Well, you're
She
very
doesn't ever
self-
seem to like,
to tell you.
to worry about
Well,
it.
I think to the other side of the coin about, there's our being nice, but when other people are nice to us, I try to make a point to not make them feel like that I'm taking advantage of that, but try to do something nice for them, whether it's to take them a gift or something
Right, a
that they
card.
like,
Appreciate it,
something
sure.
that they like, to let them know, hey, I appreciate what you're doing for me. I don't take that for granted.
Right, right.
So I think that's important too, is to not just be a nice person, but to recognize the niceness in others. And people aren't usually looking for a reward for that, but an
No.
acknowledgement of that rather than being felt like they're taken for granted.
Yes, I think there's a fine line too. I feel like sometimes there are those people who may be scorekeepers and that
Oh,
tit
yeah.
for tat. And I'm not that way, but again, I think if I'm going, I'll notice like, uh-oh, Kate spent the night over there a
Right.
few more times than I think so-and-so spent the night over here.
It's our turn.
It's our turn. But I don't like the concept of that scorekeeping, but I do think you
Sure.
need to be cognizant and self-aware
Right.
of when people are going out of their way. And again, you kind of can reciprocate in a way that to make them feel appreciated.
Right, for
Yes.
sure.
Okay. You will forget about being kind to yourself. So when you're so busy taking care of everyone else, you'll forget to be kind to yourself, and this could lead to your basic needs not getting met. Funny, I just snapped a picture of a quote I saw somewhere on Instagram that was talking about like, show yourself so much self-love and self-respect that then it emanates and others will know that's the way that you expect to be treated. And I mean, that seems like a no-brainer,
point,
but
yeah.
it's a great point. Like
Yes.
the way that people see you treat yourself, treat those around you, then there is no question in anyone's mind how they should treat you.
I've seen this with my kids. We have 4 kids. They're all waiters, or they've been
Yes.
waiters.
Oh,
and I
so
want
great.
them to be a waiter and understand how that feels, and I want them to treat every service person with
Yes.
respect. And that's, I'm so proud of them that as a family, you know, that's important.
I think
because somebody's working, but
everyone
until you
should.
do it, sometimes you don't appreciate it.
Yes.
So appreciate everybody that serves you
Right.
in any capacity.
In any capacity, Kara, working in the restaurant.
Well,
you know
yeah.
that.
and I mean, a manager told me one time, he's like, anybody could someday be your boss.
Right.
And I always think about that too, because I mean, not that you shouldn't just go into a situation treating people as they deserve to be treated, but you never know where life is going to take you. And the more good karma you put out, I really feel like comes back to you. So.
Yeah, and it's a
Be
humble,
nice.
it's a humbling job. I can always
Yeah.
remember too. You never know when you're in a serving type of position, like the people that you might think won't give you a great tip. If you're kind of maybe something they're not dressed the way you thought, they're the ones that sometimes will blow my mind and leave a
Yes.
great tip. So it's everyone should be in that service industry because it will teach you how not to judge a book by its cover, how to treat everyone exactly the same. And it's not always easy. I know that's what Jim was a busboy, I think, and he was like, "Oh my God, that is not
Yeah.
easy."
No.
Yeah.
Give people grace.
I
Yes.
think too, going into situations without an expectation of what's in it for me.
Yeah.
That being kind and giving and positive and warm and friendly and
Yes.
thoughtful is something that comes from your heart, not
Right.
because you're seeking something
Out of it.
Let that be its own reward to yourself. Let your
Right.
validation come from within yourself.
Sure, or as we are saying, then you're going to get let down. You're
Yeah.
not going to have your expectations met if you're putting it out there for the wrong reasons.
Right.
How about just simply you're going to attract needy people? So people are going to end up taking advantage of you, maybe because you have not set those boundaries. I'm sure, again, that's happened to all of us, where that person, oh, I'll be there at 4 to grab my child, and then they're not there, and you're calling, going, hey, we have plans, and
Right.
and that's just a situation with kids. But I mean, at work, oh, will you help me with this deadline? I mean, how many times have we seen that happen?
Right.
All the time, in every aspect of life.
I think it's like a serial offender, right? So if somebody
Right.
keeps doing
Right.
it, but I think you also have to use your judgment, and that your friends are going to need you more times. Like if your friend's going through something, then you're there for them,
Right.
and they can be late, and they can vent to you a little bit more, and that's okay. That's
And
what
they're
also
sorry.
being as a friend is being
Yeah.
about.
Right.
Yeah. So you kind of have to judge case by case.
Yes, and we have to wrap, but I thought it was funny. The last one was people won't trust you.
Oh.
Experts say that when you're actually, people are not expecting you to be, if you're too nice, they almost suspect something about you. So at the end of the day, guys,
Probably in New Jersey.
if you're a 10, take it down to an 8. Take it down to an 8.
Not here in Georgia. You can be nice.
Come on now, right at where my burn level is for my marshmallow, right, Kara? Because apparently Lee doesn't toast my marshmallows. That didn't sound good. All right, Trinity Chat is coming up
Anytime.
next. We went.